Well, it's March 15th right now, and here's an update on my seedlings. So this is the experiment. I have a bunch in pots. I have some that I put in the ground and see how they've been doing, and it's been going really well so far. So these two are Pickering seedlings. So these two are two Pickering seedlings that I put in the ground. I kind of just planted it right next to each other to save space. And they're doing good so far. And let's see, these two are two carry ones. One's doing pretty good, the other one has not been doing too well. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of weeding that I'm gonna have to do after everything starts warming up, or right now. Let's see what else I got here. So this is two lemon zest seedlings. They've been doing okay, not as great and as vigorous as I had hoped, but they're doing okay. So hope maybe this year that I'll get a lot more growth coming out of them. Okay, let's keep on going. Here's a lot of my alfalfa seedlings that I began. These began in 2023, I think. I gotta go back to my notes on that. So let's see. Here's the rest of the seedlings. You can kind of see some yellowing and stuff, but they're not doing well. I think they're going to recover quite well after everything starts warming up. Let's see, right here I have some guava Saint Talone that was planted in the ground on these. It's looking good, nice and green. And also some, I think this one's lemon zest. This is some more lemon zest. I put it in the ground. Seedlings doing well. I only lost a couple seedlings. I think I shown you guys this one that kind of fell over and got all burnt up. It was a cogswallop seedling. And then recently I just lost a maha seedling. That one was a bizarre one. I don't know why that one ended up dying, but pretty much this winter so far, it's the cogswallop seedling that fell over, and it just kind of got burnt by the cold nights. And then I had a Laverne Manila rootstock that died from a fungal infection in the trunk, and that one was struggling since last year when it first got the initial fungal infection. So the maha has been the only unusual one. I don't know why that died, but it's been a pretty cold winter. This has been probably one of the more colder winters in the last couple of years that I can remember, and it's triggered a lot of my seedlings to bloom. So I have these alfalfa seedlings. Lots of them are blooming, and these I would say they're about 2.5 years old. They began around the summer, fall of 2022. So 2.5 years old, and they're kind of blooming. Okay, there's some more blooms on these. I was hoping for another year of vegetation, pure vegetation, but oh well. So let's see, some more seedlings here. This one's I think this is a lemon zest. So here's another lemon zest. I got quite a few lemon zests I put in the ground. We'll see what happens. I mean, they were mostly the ones, but I could not identify which ones are poly and which ones they were poly seeds, but I couldn't identify which one was the fertilized plant that came out and versus the clone. They both smell the same from all these ones I put in the ground. So we'll see what happens. The lemon zest is a top tier variety, so we'll see if they produce anything similar. It'd be excellent. Okay, let's see. Got some sweet tart seedlings. I think this might be. Yep, this is sweet tart. Okay. The grass is kind of going crazy. I'm gonna have to do some weeding after this. Some more seedlings in pots and seedlings in the ground. This one's a cotton candy. There is 2 trunks. So some more seedlings in the pots. This one's a guava Saint Talone. This one's the most vigorous of them, but there's about like 5 or 6 trunks down below on this one. So let's keep on going. Here's a Bombay seedling that I have. And here's another sweet tart seedling. This one, pretty sure this one's the clone itself, because this one right here, that's a pollinator one. This one is the sweet tart, but the fertilized one. This one smells very classic smelling sweet tart. The rest smells more like a sweet tart. And then let's keep on going. Lots of other ones here in pots that's doing pretty well. This one's an Autofo one. So I had planted out some Autofos back in the fall of 2023, and my initial plan was to kind of like invert it into some of the rootstocks that were struggling. It was mostly my Kent rootstocks that were struggling, and so I was going to give it a double rootstock. But I kind of abandoned that idea. I'm going to be grafting over it. But this one, look at this. It's already showing. It's not a full bloom or anything close to that, but that's a bloom bud right there. This is 2020, fall of 2023. This one's only about a year and a half old or so. So this is an Autofo that's a year and a half old that's blooming. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to be grafting over this using the rootstock, but I was pretty surprised that it bloomed. But it is a pretty cold winter, and like lots of times these colder winters, they just trigger a lot of the seedlings to bloom. Okay, here's a cotton candy. You know, this one has multiple trunks. Here's one right here. Let's see what happens to it. Back here in this row right here, this is all my mostly my sweet tart seedlings, the ones I've been able to like these are all pot plants, so they're multiple trunks, but I've been keeping these in pots because I was able to identify the clones versus the fertilized. So kind of have that on there. Let's see, lots more seedling. And then this section is more like my lemon zest ones, which I've been able to do the same thing, kind of identify clones versus fertilized seedlings. So here is my maha that died, the seedling right here. I have not been too successful growing out maha. They just seem to be, every seeds the seedlings I grow from them, they just seem to be very slow growing, you know, and usually the seeds are so tiny. So I know they're struggling right off the bat. So this one didn't make it. So this is the only odd one, was I'm surprised that it died. I mean, some of the others, the other one I mentioned, I know exactly why it died, you know, tipped over. But this one, really no reason for it to die, you know, unless it just couldn't really handle the cold. So okay, I think this is another cotton candy right here. So three trunks, you know, see what happens. Let's see how my variegated maha is doing. The variegated maha seems to still be doing good. It's looking well. Okay, and then this is my only maha that's kind of been doing pretty decent. So let's see. This is a random seedling. I don't know what it is. Let's see what it ends up producing. I think it's probably gonna be some sort of form of turpentine. I don't really know. Have not been able to really identify by the leaf smell. Some days I test the leaf and it smells just very classic, turpentine-ish. And then some days I smell it and it has like a strong lemony zest to it. So I'm very kind of baffled by it. I have not been able to figure this one out. Okay, let's see. This is right here. All this bloom right here is my California Remit seedling. And this one is the one where I've been kind of growing a little bit differently than others. I've let this branch out small, almost bush-like. As a seedling, I think it handles it a bit more, but it's just an experiment to see how well this does versus the ones I let kind of grow more vertically. But it's blooming everywhere. I even have this grafted Sunpari seedling that's blooming. So let's see what happens to it. There's some more blooms of it. And then let's see what else I got in here. Here's some M4. This is an M4 right here. These two branches you see. This is a coconut cream with the red leaves. So M4. That's an M4. That's a poly seed. Here's an M4 that's in a pot. And then let's see. Let's keep on going. Most of these are more of the grafted stuff. And then I have a coconut cream here. Yeah, it's been kind of slow growing. Coconut cream has not been a very vigorous seedling grow for me. Here's some more sectional seedlings I have, like these three, these right here. These are all top woods. This one's right here is a sweet type poly seed right here. And I think this is a guava Saint Helene. Lemon zest right here, honey kiss right here, another lemon zest, I think a guava, another honey kiss, coconut cream right there, and then a pina colada. And then I started some seedlings towards the end of last year. Unfortunately, starting it outside, outdoor here during the end of the year for seedlings, they just kind of struggle a bit. So they don't do that well, even if there are a strong rootstock variety. So I could kind of show you what died already. So this is the California Remit seedlings. I had looked like one of the seedlings died. Here's the Laverne Manila seedlings right here. I'm not counting the ones. I did have some that just didn't sprout. Not counting those, but let's see. Had like 3 that sprout. Had this one sprouted, but it ended up dying. I was able to sprout a couple of turpentine seedlings, but they all died. Okay, well, so that's the update on my seedling projects. Pretty mild winter in some aspect and pretty cold in some aspect. I think this has been the coldest the last couple years, but I didn't get any kind of hail or frost, at least this year in my area. But I know some areas this year did get some hail, just especially in the last week. It just seemed like it's been a more prolonged, cold weather, gloomier kind of winter, but not like one of those extreme winters. I think like when you compare it to like 2023 where we had like hail and stuff like that, but it was just kind of a bit more prolonged, a bit more colder. Had lots of my herbs that just kind of did not make it, so that was a bit unusual. Even those survived like that crazy 2023 winter. So well, that's an update. Thanks everyone.